whole lot of Nigerians who doubt that, and I doubt that too, because I don't know whatever he's doing now. No, if you ask 10,000 Nigerians on this road, what does Fani Kayode do? If they say he's a lawyer, he's not the only lawyer that doesn't practice. Okay, now, so the fact that he's a lawyer does not mean he's in practice. And then the question is, what else does he do? He has been in politics for 30 years. What else do we do?
Let's look at the fact that he has come out to tender unreserved apology. Let's look at it from that perspective now.
I'm not actually angry with him. I'm actually angry with Mr. Charles.
Because a lot of people said they were actually ashamed of him. Some said all manner of things. Some said he is a very strong critic of the government. And at times, he's said to have been using abusive words and cannot stand something as simple as this. And people even compared him with former Governor Rashid.
No, they should not. No, they should not.
You know, an interview that he was said to have granted.
That's not the only one. That's not the only one. You see, Babaladoja is educated. I don't belong to his camp, but he's educated, quote unquote. There are things you expect from an educated man, especially a strong critic. Babaladoja is not even a strong critic of any government. But you see, he has, when you look at him, he's so simple. He wears simple akara and whatever. He's not, so you cannot, let's not, even when there was this little misunderstanding between him and Ajimobi, and you call Babaladoja to the studio, when you listen, he has a way of trying to diffuse some of these tensions. So don't go to the way of Babaladoja. So I look at people who try to, I think no. What they said to Babaladoja was actually more insulting. So you cannot even just now. But Baba said, "Thank you for the question, because now you have allowed me to advertise myself." It would have been an opportunity for a very rich Fani Kayode to say, "Oh, thank you for the question. Although I know why you asked the question, but this is it. This is what I do, and the money is from me." If he had said that, nobody would beat him. Now, on whether the apology, his family should be ashamed, I am not surprised. Okay, this is a Fani Kayode we know. I don't want to go through the family history, but this is the same Fani Kayode when he was the special advisor who was busy insulting Professor Wole Soyinka. This is the same Fani Kayode that will go on Twitter, on Facebook every day, blast, insult, and call President Buhari names. He has names for almost everybody in that government. He has names even for Tinubu. So I find it very it's not surprising to me, but I'm just surprised that at the end of the day, his family said no.
You said your anger is actually with the child, the journalist.
Yes, with the child.
How did you expect him to react in that circumstance?
Because a journalist, quote unquote, someone who understands his job, who stand his ground, and more or less react in equal measure without having to. It was getting to the point of Fani Kayode wanted to stand up and slap.
Sorry, when you say equal measure, let's get it right now. What exactly are you talking about? Are you saying that they should have shouted back at him?
No, you are stupid. No, sir, I am not.
Did he respond?
He should.
Do you remember the Jega drama?
Okay.
When the election results were about being announced that year, when I think that was when President Buhari won that election.
Yes.
Do you remember what happened?
It was different.
How calm that man was.
No, you see, the difference is the guy was a university administrator, an administrator, and he also knows that look, he's holding a position that is different from what this man is holding. It's not an interview thing. It's not a journalist against now a politician thing. This man is angry that his own benefactor is losing an election. Let him get angry. At the end of the day, he doesn't have any arms. So if he gets to whatever, the security men are there to take him away. It's not that that's what I'm saying. It depends on how you are looking at it. But if you put me in that particular situation, are you stupid? No, sir, I am not stupid. and the question was not directed at you. I needed clarifications. There are ways you can protest.
Well, how about the fact that the man just remained silent? How about that?
He kept saying sorry, and the others who were from the other people were like, "Can you see your life?"
Okay.
That's,
Now you got it. Now you got it. I was actually angry too when I heard that part of it, because why that?
That's it.
It's all right. We have to move on the program this morning. It's Voice of Liberation on Pensioners 106.7 FM at Barigo Unireke Ibadan. My name is Pius Nsabe, and I'm hosting Barrister Goke Eshuola on the program this morning. Let's switch gears to what happened recently in Oyo State. The rearrest of the suspected ritual serial killer, Sunday Shodigbe, during the week. You know that before last week, or before this week that we are in, he escaped from police custody.
Yes.
And it was, which word do I even use now? People were angry. Let me put it that way. People were angry, even to the point that the National Association of Nigerian Students, or your state chapter, stormed the police headquarters in Ilele to protest and said all manner of things to the police. And of course, nobody will hear that and would not be angry. But eventually, the Nigerian police, your state command, were able to rearrest him. And a press conference was held in the course of the week. So let's hear. Sunday Shodigbe did not speak Yoruba. He did not speak English. Yes. He spoke Yoruba. But we are going to hear two versions of him. The latest one, where he spoke after he was arrested. And then we'll also play the former one, where the first time he was arrested. You know why we are going to do that? Because a lot of people have been doing comparison. There's a picture going on the social media, two pictures of him, two versions of him. Some people were saying he's not the one. They are comparing the first Sunday Shodigbe and the second one that was arrested. So we'll play the two. You'll hear the voices and perhaps give us your own vibe.
Ìgbà tí àjọmẹ́ǹtì ìjọ kóòtù on the 7 oṣù kẹjọ tí wọ́n fún wọn tó táwọn máa fẹ́ máa gbé wa lọ sí kóòtù, wọ́n sọ pé kóòtù síìtì. Ìgbà náà ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ pé ọ̀gá Fúnṣọ́ wọ́n jẹ́ pé kán jọ kán bá wọn gẹ́ẹ̀tì rẹ́gà ọ̀hún pé wọ́n ṣá mọ̀ pé kán má jẹ́ káwọn àjẹ́ ló mú ẹ̀jẹ̀ ara wọn tán. So wọn dẹ̀ bá wọn mú rẹ́gà wọn kan wá.
Wọ́n ní ogun orí fẹ́ǹsì ni àṣé ò disappear ní àbí báwo ló yẹ
Mo gbé ẹsẹ̀ lé orí bọ́ọ̀ tí wọn ò tí ì rẹ̀ tán nínú fẹ́ǹsì bẹ́ẹ̀. Mo fi bọ́ sórí àwọn páànù ṣọ́ọ̀bù tó máa ń wà lẹ́sẹ̀ títì yẹn. Mo fi bẹ́ sílẹ̀.
Lẹ́yìn ìgbà tó jáde a gbọ́ wípé o tún lọ ṣe ìjàmbá fún obìnrin kan tí o tó pa ṣé báwo.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ìgbà tí mo ṣàlàyé fún wọn pé ẹni ibo gan ni mo lè lọ, wọ́n jẹ́ pé mo ká kí n lé náà mo tún gbọ́dọ̀ lọ. Mo dẹ̀ jẹ́ oyè wọn pé inú ìta wà yìí gan ọ̀rọ̀ Akínyẹlé náà ni wọ́n lákínyẹlé náà ni kí n lọ. Pé tí n bá ṣe tán kí n wá dárúkọ Idris Adédògún Yunus Ajah kí n wá lọ síbi táwọn ti ń ṣiṣẹ́, kí n lọ sí ṣọ́ọ̀bù àwọn pé kí n jẹ́ kó lọ alẹ́ tẹ́lẹ̀ ọkàn ní kí n tó lọ síbẹ̀.
All right, that's the latest arrest that was made of Sunday Shodigbe and his confession. Let's hear the former one when he was initially arrested.
Mo pààyàn l'Akínyẹlé, mo pààyàn l'Àbòdò, mo pààyàn l'Ilé Àdìsá, mo pààyàn ní ibi àti fẹ́ẹ̀ dé ibi ọjọ́ ìbí ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì. Wọ́n á ní pé kí n lọ fi nǹkan sáyàn lórí pé tẹ́jẹ̀ bá ti yọ́ ń bibẹ̀ pé kí n ṣe ha pé ó dùn ẹbọ ó dùn ètù, kí n sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀mẹ́ta, pé kí n yípo ẹni yẹn lẹ́ẹ̀mẹ́ta, pé kí n kọ̀yìn sẹ́ni yẹn, kí n dúró síbẹ̀ láàrin 5 minutes, pé ìsìnkú ọ̀run máa bẹ́ni yẹn lájọṣepọ̀, pé kò sẹ́ni tí ó wà bẹ́ẹ̀ tí ó rí mi.
Barrister, you heard that?
Yes, I did.
Were you able to spot any difference in the two voices?
It's the same person. I have no doubt. When the pictures were circulating, in one of the pictures he was looking down, in the other one he was looking straight. So you can look at, and then he has changed his clothes. So, but the forehead, the jaws remains the same. It's the same Sunday Shodigbe.
But what does this rearrest mean to you as a resident of Oyo State?
Nigeria is a country that encourages impunity. First, I think the heads should have rolled. Some should have been dismissed. Some policemen should be facing some some orderly room trial right now, and the police did not arrest him. I hope you are aware. It was a private citizen who arrested him and took him to the station. We have video clips of the man who arrested him. In fact, we actually know him, and that's why, well, maybe because we haven't gotten to that. That's why we are encouraging that the Amotekun should not become too formal. Yes, because yes.
Before we'll talk about all that put together, but let's hear the commissioner of police in the state, CP Joe Enwongo. We are playing it on the basis that you said heads should have ruled.
Yes, sir.
So he said that heads are already ruling. Let's hear him out.
Sometimes the public judge the police wrongly, just like the issue of the serial killer. The police as an institution was rubbish. Meanwhile, it was the activity of just one particular person. That person is barely paying for that. As we speak, he's still in police custody. He has been detained, he has been defaulted, and he is facing disciplinary action, which has been finished at this level, and we have forwarded it further for action. So please, in future, don't judge us wrongly. Get from the other side and try to help us sensitize the public. Because some number of times, the public go against the police without getting the proper information. To that extent, that I speak to you, some students of the higher institution, NANS, they are here. They've been calling that they've come to render apologies for coming to give us bad names, for bringing police to disrepute. They told me they want to use the opportunity of this press briefing to render their apologies and start and hand over a letter of apology to the police authority.
Now, indeed, NAN starts talking about the National Association of Nigerian Students actually were there to tender their apology. Let's hear them too, and then we'll talk about everything.
My name is Opakole Oluwafemi Moewa, friends and family and politically called Opako, the #1 student in Oyo State, NANS CCC chairman. Exactly a week ago, we were here to protest to show our grievances about the serial killer escape, which is Nsabe Shodipe. But today we give glory to God and to the ever active CP, Commissioner of Police. Sir, we really appreciate you. We commend your effort. It is very important we students actually come out to show our grievances, but it's the platform in which it's been placed that doesn't really go well. And there are miscreants and misballs that actually hijack the protest. You know, when such happens, we have people coming in, different kind of people in which we cannot even identify or true, in which have a large number of people around. But we took it upon ourselves. We took it upon ourselves to commend the Commissioner of Police and the entire police command in Oyo State for their very good job done. And we are using this medium to tell it to the whole National Association of Nigerian Students and the students at large in Oyo State that be rest assured, be calm, your security is safe, Oyo State is secured. We have everything on ground with the capacitated CP. Oyo State is secured, and to anything that actually been said unto you, sir, there's an added say that says, "Oh, easy lies there that wears the ground." Just take that from us, sir.
Well, you heard the National Association of Nigerian Students, or your states, recounting, so to speak, on the protests that they held, demanding the rearrest of Sunday Shodipe, in which they even gave the police a 14-day ultimatum. I saw you shaking your head.
Yes.
Well, let me credit this to our man, Ibiumi Ishola, who was there and he saw it all. He sent in these voices to us. I saw you shaking your head when he was talking.
Yes, you know, he has left the realm where he was supposed to speak. Your state is safe and all those stories. I beg. You see, we should allow people to know they ought to take their security very importantly, because the police cannot be everywhere, and they are not everywhere. Some of them are doing wonderfully well, but are we safe? No. And the area of what they did, I was an activist in the university, but I've never been involved in violence. I don't attend violent political protests. Okay, so if at some point they became violent, they became rowdy, that is no longer part of unionism. Gone are the days of the disruption of activities and stealing things. No. So if that is the apology, just restrict whatever you want to do and say to that. And just like I said earlier, the police in Oyo State did not arrest Sunday Shodipe. It was a private citizen who arrested him, took him to the police station, and if they actually want the video tape of who arrested him and how he took him to the police, we will give you.
But don't forget that the police put out a kind of largesse out there for whoever.
This is that's what I'm saying. His arrest was by a private citizen who actually came from Akure.
Well, I don't have that information.
That's what I'm saying.
I
So
don't have that
and he took him to the but we still saying as of today, we are not sure if the police are giving that private citizen the money promised for the whoever has arrested them.
And that's between them. But let's look at the issues here.
Yes.
The police commissioner was saying that they are usually misjudged by the public. In this circumstance, were they misjudged?
They were not. They were not.
Were they unduly criticized?
They were not unduly criticized. We are talking about a serial killer. And it was that mistake that has caused another person in life.
Because he is saying that because of a single policeman, people are rubbishing the institution called the Nigerian
It's
Police
not
Force.
a single policeman. We are talking about lives. See, when people don't understand what actually is the function of police, protection of the lives of the citizens. They are paid to do this. Someone has killed about 5 people. You are allowed into court. What you are blaming, we are not blaming that individual. That individual is a part of an organization, the police. So if the man has given them a bad name, a good name, or whatever, it is still the police. So he has escaped and he went ahead to kill another person. Now, what do we do with the life of someone that you are misjudging the police? Would it bring that woman back? We should understand that in normal or senior crimes, the police commissioner may have been forced to resign. He is the chief security officer outside of the governor. So you should understand that the governor is not happy. I am not happy. One, because you don't know who the next victim will be. So here, it is not about the police really, but about what has happened. The way you treat someone who has stolen a phone should be different. Drastically different from how you treat someone who is an alleged serial killer. So allowing him to go and have his bet where the place is not even locked at all, that smacks of I don't know,
Professionalism.
professional conduct.
Now we have seen all this, and you alluded to the fact that we have to help the police to police ourselves.
Definitely.
Now that's where the issue of Amotekun come in.
Yes.
Do you think that the coming of Amotekun would make any difference
It would.
in cases like this?
If I don't know what the program really is, but if they allow Amotekun to work the way it should, that's why I don't want too much paperwork with regards to Amotekun. Go online, go and fill forms, and then your passport. No, these people are quote unquote traditional. If you've been watching what has been happening in Osun State, you find out that some of these people are recruited among hunters, the traditional whatever. I at least have seen one in Ejibo. If the man should place anything in front of the house, no armed robber. If they come to that compound anywhere within 50 meters, 500 meters, they will slip off. They will get to that particular junction and slip off.
Are you sure of what you're saying? So you think we should go traditional?
Amotekun is not going to be English. It is not going to be Thai. Amotekun is supposed to be like, and I like what Governor Seyi Makinde and our Ibu senior Oluwarotimi Akeredolu Aketi said. they will not allow Amotekun to be subsumed under community policing. It will be very, to be irregular, to be, So what I'm saying is, if you must have listened to read or seen what happened at was it Igboho now?
Yes.
Those are brothers.
Yes.
Those who were arrested, those were not men in tie. They were shooting. They shot at, yes, one of them also died, but they caught them. This is traditional African science.
It's all right, Barris. I couldn't help but laugh. Please permit me. The program is Voice of Liberation on Pensioners 106.7 FM, Agbarigo, Onireke, Ibadan. I have been talking with Barrister Goke Isuola, and we have been looking at some major stories that made the round during the week, and that also includes the rearrest of Sunday Shodikpe, a suspected serial ritual killer. At this point, we will open the lines for you, our dear listener, to call in on the program and make your contribution. 0908 111 1067, 0908 111 1067, or 0808 010 1067, 0808 010 1067. You can also view us live on our Facebook page, Pensioners FM. It's as simple as that. Pensioners FM. Just go there, like our page. And of course, we are also on YouTube. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Well done.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, this is Nsabe from Monian.
Welcome on the program.
Yeah, please. My own contribution is very brief.
Okay.
Please, sir. I just want this discussion about Amotekun to be minimized because it has to do with secret. It's all about security. Because many people are listening from different angles. So I will even prefer, as an advice, not to give them uniform. I mean, the Amotekun partakers.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for your wonderful contribution on the program. Hello, good morning.
Thank you.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Howard.
Good morning.
My name is Williams.
Welcome on the program, Williams.
Thank you very much. On the Amotekun, let me quickly relate a short story. Growing up in Benin, some armed robbers robbed a particular man. After robbing, throughout the whole night, what they stole, they had it on their head and they were walking around the house until it was done. And when the man released them, they fell down and fainted. I saw this thing with my own eye. I was about 12 years old then.
Really?
Yes.
So we should go the African way. That is the point you are saying.
You see, at a point, we have some things that it takes to face some of our problems. Why are we trying to relegate these things that we could use to solve our problem?
Thank you.
Then on the police,
yes.
I want to say this.
Okay.
Each time I hear the police hierarchy speak, it's as if they are unwilling to take responsibility. Now, when we talk about the police, we are not talking about one incident. That is the truth. There have been countless incidents.
Thank you.
So they are yet, in so many ways, to redeem themselves. And they have to do that. And lastly, the lawyers, sir, I want to say this. It is not wise, in my own view, that we dismiss any splinter group or those that are talking about especially from the NBA. Presently, the NBA as a body is not as decisive as it should be. Now, if a split comes in now, it will further jeopardize whatever the NBA should stand for. Right now, the NBA is not decisive enough because somehow there are those that don't believe really in what the NBA is supposed to be doing. Either they do not believe or they don't understand what the NBA as a body should be doing.
Thank you.
Please, look for a way to make sure it does not happen.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Have a nice day. God bless
Thank
you.
you so much. 0908-111-1067, 0808-010-1067. You can also listen to us live on YouTube via our website, www.pensionersfm1067.com. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Pius.
Good morning, Mr. John Joko.
Good morning, Barisa.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
John Njoku is my name. I want to talk about the NBA election, and I love what you said this morning. I can only tell you that the statement credit to Awomolo San appear to have engineered the protest vote because most of the voters are non-senior advocates of Nigeria. Number two, about Fanika Yode, he hold him a high esteem, and at the same time condemn his conduct against a journalist. However, let us accept his apology offered because even the victim has forgiven him. And so we should not cry more than the belief. To hear his woman and to forgive is divine. On Sunday show day, I want to agree totally with you concerning the assertion from the Commissioner of Police of your state command that we should not judge because of one person. Let the commissioner accept the barrage of criticism because the officer ought to know the gravity of the allegation hanging on the neck of Sunday should declare. And my question was, he lectined? If not, why? Because if that man was lectined, it would be impossible for him to escape. John Njoku is my name. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. John Joko. 0908-111-1067 0808-010-1067. Our Facebook handle, Pensioners FM, simply Pensioners FM. You can also view us live on our website, www.pensionersfm1067.com. From wherever you are in the world, you will see what is going on right here in the studio. As we wind down on this segment of the program, Barrister, let's talk about the Companies and Allied Matters Act, which has been generating a lot of controversy in the country, particularly a particular portion of that act. That is, I think, 839, section 839 of that act.
Thank you very much. The major problem we have here is that people are looking at that particular section alone, forgetting some of the gains, some of the innovations the newcomer has brought in. Now, a single individual can now start a company instead of having to and one large number. One person can actually register his own company now. You also have the cost of doing some of this legislation being brought down. People are not looking at that. It has also introduced what you call transparency. So if you have a share in a particular company, you must inform people so that they know, so that we don't continue to have an opaque system. So be transparent. It is trying to bring in some kind of integrity. Now, the major area, that section 889, major problem we have, and the most of the barrage of criticism come from the church.
Church, yes.
And not every church now. Pentecostal.
Some churches.
Pentecostal churches. The Catholic Church has a scheme. Anglican Church, Methodist, Baptist, that looks almost like what Kama has already done now. But majority of these Pentecostal churches are run like a family business. And so the money made by the church is seen as if it is a family money. But in churches, Orthodox churches like Catholic, the Reverend Father will stay here, will stay in the church building, he will move, they will pay him a salary. And that's why you don't have super rich priests all over. So the major criticism, my church, that has been the issue. The people that are talking about trustees, here, when some of them expire or they die, their wives and children take over as if it's a business. If you look at that section dispassionately, you will see that what is trying to guard against is this family inheritance and the absolute corruption that is happening. Except you will decide to look the other side, there will be too much stealing. And when a particular pastor of a church will have his own asset to be around $150 million US, and the only thing you do is to have a church. And so you look at the structured one, like the Church of Latter-day Saints, the Catholic Church, all over the world. Who's the richest among? These are the richest churches. Okay. Now, but who's as rich as any of Nigerian pastors
in terms of the individuals.
individual money. So this particular one, once they look that you are stealing money, you are mismanaging whatever, an organization that has registered you, you are now saying can no longer regulate how you do. It looks, I'm giving you,
but in terms of regulation now,
Yes,
the act did not state who to take over. I just said an interim committee.
This is
That
why-
is vague.
no.
An
See,
interim committee could be anybody.
an interim committee could be anybody. Majorly, when you look at these churches, they are supposed to have board of trustees. They put in their men. If any one of them disagrees with these people, they haze him out. Nobody here will know what is happening in the church. See, I don't want to, because as a member of the Christ body too, but we know that majority of the problem we have with this, I don't want to mention certain churches,
But
and what we know.
bottom line, you agree with this? You think that this?
No, I
this
think there are
formal law
some
is good?
areas, yes, but I think there are some areas that need to be specified, and then Christian Association of Nigeria as a body and PFN can write and say, oh, we think this particular area can be amended this way.
But that's what they are trying to do.
No. They are condemning that section. It's not the same. If you look at that section and you read line by line, you will agree with at least 80% of what is there. The major problem is on the disbandment of the trustees and bringing in new interest. If there are no issue before CAC will come in to say you have a problem, there is a proviso. It's only subject to the court.
Well, now, still on this issue of churches, the Christian Association of Nigeria is having a kind of running battle with the Alaafin of Oyo on the issue of land. Why is that happening?
Well, thank you very much. The Christian Association of Nigeria, Oyo Zone, and that particular issue has to do with about 16 acres of land that Christian Association of Nigeria, Oyo Zone, purchased as far back as 1984, and it was specifically for cemetery. They purchased in two particular zones. One is called Ayetoro scheme, and the other one is called Abojupa scheme. The Abojupa scheme, which falls today under the Afijo local government, is still there, untampered with, and people have been buried there. But the Ayetoro scheme is now more or less within the town. And as at 2009, when the son of the incumbent Alaafin, Akim Adeyemi Skime, was the chairman, the Christian Association of Nigeria had written, even before he came in, to change the use of that place from a cemetery to an event center where they can have conferences, and that has been approved. So because initially when the land was granted to Christian Association of Nigeria, Oyo Zone, it was under a single local government, or your local government, as far back then. So as at the time, Akim was a chairman, Oyo has been split into about 4 local government, Oyo East, Oyo West, Atiba, and Afijio. They applied because the land now falls under Atiba local government, and it was reissued to them, and they paid all. Khan has paid all the dues on that land.
But they are claiming that their Alaafin is claiming the land.
Yes, and at some point in 2019, suddenly, the Christian Association of Nigeria allegedly saw a big signboard saying this land belongs to the Alaafin for you, and they put 2 numbers for 2 people. So Khan has tried at the normal level, quote and unquote, to reach out to people, to reach out to KBAC and others. I am aware because I'm a member of the Christian body. But we have enough documents.
So going forward, how do you think this problem can be solved? As a lawyer now, how do you think it can be solved?
No, not but as I know your man now, because it pains me that this kind of thing is happening, and is happening, and it is giving us a bad name. I think KBAC should sit down with these people, because the particular scheme belongs to the Oyo local government then, and every other paper is even with the ministry.
I'd like to thank you, Barrister Goke Iswola, for being on the program today. It's really been wonderful talking to you, as always.
Thank you very much.
It's always a pleasure having you in our studio.
Thank you.
All right, to my listener, we are going to switch gears into the second segment of the program shortly, and I have a former diplomat who will be talking on the issues affecting Nigerians in the diaspora, particularly the Ghana issue and maybe a few others. That will be when we come back from this short musical break. Please stay tuned.
Ohun ojú rí ẹnu ò mà nílé sọ o. Ohun ojú rí ọmọ ò mà nílé sọ bó délé o. Ohun ojú rí ẹnu ò mà nílé sọ o. Ohun ojú rí ọmọ ò mà nílé sọ bó délé o. We are free. Colonization is a thing of the past. But look around you people. Time is going by and we still can't get it right. They say our land is the home of poverty and disease, and we're treated like second-class citizens of the world. Our leaders run around begging for help when the solutions are right here at home with us. The future of this land is in the hands of every man and woman, young and old. Every one of us has a share in the blame for the failure of this society. See, we're still slaves. Economically, we're still slaves. Politically, we're still slaves. Ideologically, we're still slaves. But I've got a song to sing, yeah. We're trying to fix things from the top to the ground, but the way lasting change begins at the individual level. Everyone dips in the pot, but no one replenishes.
Our business is to speak for the voiceless and demand better deals for the vulnerable. Stakeholders must be alive to their responsibilities to the people. If they are not, we will shout. Not, we will shout. The program is Voice of Liberation on Pensioners 106.7 FM at Barigo, Onireke, Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. Have you learnt a voice today?
Tomorrow. Get ready, mama, prepare for your freedom. Freedom is coming tomorrow. Get ready, mama, prepare for your freedom. Freedom is coming tomorrow. Freedom is coming tomorrow.
Nigeria is said to be the giant of Africa. But what the fate of an average Nigerian is outside the shores of this country leaves so much to be desired. What exactly is the problem? From Lebanon to South Africa to Ghana, and perhaps many other places in the world, Nigerians are not, so to speak, fairly treated. Or are they? I'm not in a position to say. I have somebody who has seen it all and in a better position to speak on issues affecting Nigerians in the diaspora. He has been there himself. He has been in charge. I'm talking about a former Nigerian ambassador to the Philippines, Ambassador Yemi Farombi, who is also a veteran broadcaster. Welcome on the program, Voice of Liberation.
Thank you very much. It's nice being with you on this Voice of Liberation.
It's always an honor each time I have you in the studio with me. Now, without much ado, let's first of all talk about the Femi Fani-Kayode against a Daily Trust reporter.
I'm happy that eventually he saw the futility and, to use his word, the stupidity in what he did. There are various sides to interviews. There are aggressive interviewers. There are slippery interviewers. There are soft interviewers. The whole idea is to get from you what you don't want to say. So the interviewer used what I would call an epidemic approach. He gave him an injection and he erupted. And those things that he had been hiding, that people never knew about him, came into the surface. So the reporter succeeded in unveiling the reality of who FFK is. I'm happy that he listened to other people and he apologized. There's one thing that leaders and politicians must learn: the art of respecting the reporters. The reporters are not themselves. They are enshrined by the Constitution to do oversight function, not on behalf of themselves, but on behalf of the people of Nigeria. So when a reporter like you now, when you speak, it is not you that is speaking. You are speaking because you have been empowered by Section 22 and another section of the Constitution to speak on behalf of the people of Nigeria. So when you are in leadership or in political position, you must always know this. The one man behind you called reporter is actually representing 200 million people, and you have to give him respect. The second thing is that you must also learn how to manage questions. I know that there used to be a prime minister in Britain, Harold Wilson was his name. When you ask a question, then he will take his pipe, he will clean it, he will feed it up, and then we ask you again, what was the question? The chances that you are not going to say the question exactly the way you said it at the first time. And in the meantime, he has given himself about 1 minute, 2 minutes to think about it, and then he will answer you very respectfully and so on. I'm so sad that FFK did that, but I'm happy he saw the futility in what he did.
Some people think that the journalists should have reacted in equal measure.
No, he will have lost. There is the awesome support he got. If he had responded in equal measures, it would be like a madman who took your clothes. He is naked, he's running, but he took your clothes. When you start chasing him also naked, they won't know who is mad out of the two of you. So he shows to be the gentleman. And that is why today he has so much respect from all of us in the profession and from people out there.
Ambassador Farumbi, have you been following the issues with Nigerian traders in Ghana?
Yes, I've always had a very active interest about what is happening there.
We will talk about that. Let's hear one of the traders in Ghana, his exchange with us.
I say coming on to close the shop. You can see my shop. I register my business. 2007 is here. I register the business. I pay my taxes. I have my resident permit. Everything is here. They don't want to listen to us. You see, it's here. The certificates are here. If they are lying, if I'm lying, the whole world can see it. This is it. This is my resident permit. Everything is here. Today they want to lock my shop, and this is what they are doing. I don't see the reason why they lock it. They are all over the places. Since 2007, I have been paying tax. I have been doing everything, renew my residence. That's all you can see. The soldiers, everybody is here. We are here. You are here. You say I should not do anything. You are here to you are here to lock my shop. So that is what I'm showing the world. So what is the problem? That is what I want to know. Let them check my document. My document is here. They are here. They are not asking of document. What they are doing is just close the shop. You see, that is what I'm saying. Yeah, I register my business. This is the certificate. Come and check the certificate. I'm not operating illegally. Come and check. He said $1 million US dollar. How can I provide $1 million US dollar? I have all the certificates that qualify me since 2007. So why now? Why now the police is here? Everybody is here. The whole world should see this. They are here. This is my certificate. I can prove it. So I know what they are doing. So let them close it. So what is going on? I'm offering my light. I'm not operating illegally. I have the certificate.
Now the Nigerian government says it will no longer tolerate the incessant harassment of its citizens in Ghana and the progressive acts of hostility towards the country by Ghanaian authorities. In a statement issued on Friday in Abuja, the government, through the Minister of Information, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, said it was urgently considering a number of options aimed at ameliorating the situation. The statement by the minister said the government had been documenting the act of hostility towards its people and authorities. The minister listed such hostilities to include the seizure of the Nigerian mission's property located at number 10 Barnes Road, Accra, which the Nigerian government had used as a diplomatic premises for almost 50 years. He said the government considered the action as a serious breach of the Vienna Convention. Mr. Mohammed added that the demolition of the Nigerian mission's property located at number 19/21 Julius Nyerere Street, East Ridge, Accra, was another serious breach of the Vienna Convention. He said the government also frowned at the aggressive and incessant deportation of Nigerians from Ghana, noting that between January 2018 and February 2019, no fewer than 825 Nigerians were deported from Ghana. Mr. Mohammed noted that more than 300 Nigerian shops were locked for 4 months in Kumasi in 2018, while over 600 Nigerian shops were locked in 2019, and currently over 250 Nigerian shops had been locked. He said the residency permit requirement for which the Ghana Immigration Service has placed huge fees are far higher than the fees charged by the Nigerian Immigration Service. He said these include the compulsory non-citizen ID card of $120 and $60 for yearly renewal, medical examinations, including for COVID-19, which is newly introduced, about $120, and payment for residency permits, $400 compared to the 7,000 naira being paid by Ghanaians for residency card in Nigeria. The minister also identified outrageous stipulations in the Ghana Investment Promotion Center Act, and so on and so on and so forth. But the key one here is the $1 million registration fee that the Ghanaian authorities are charging Nigeria. I mean, they are charging foreigners. But from what is happening, it appears that everything is being pinned down to Nigerians. You have heard the side of a Nigerian complaining, and of course, even the Ghanaian authorities have come out to say that, yes, it is true, but that they were not actually given 14 days, that they had been given a year to prepare themselves, ahead of it. And now the Nigerian government has come out to say that it is condemning this and is considering a number of measures to take against the Ghanaian government. You are a diplomat, sir. When we have issues like this, what do we do?
Let me start by saying I feel like clapping for Lai Muhammad for his sermon. But in issues like this, you don't need a sermon. You need an action. Let me just remind you, when America said we were charging too much for our visa from their citizens, that what we were charging was 3-4 times what they were charging from us. What did they do? They stopped giving us visas immediately. No, you don't. That's what you call in diplomacy balance of terror. When somebody takes your diplomatic land, a land that you have occupied for more than 50 years, when the government seizes that, that's an act of aggression. When a government stands by and individuals destroy the diplomatic property of Nigeria, that is the second, a flagrant violation of the Geneva Convention, which to which we are all, as signatories to United Nations, to which we are all committed, then you are not preaching. No, it's an action.
He's preaching?
He's preaching. Preaching. He's preaching to Nigeria because Minister of Information for Nigeria. He's not the Minister of External Affairs. It's not like if he has asked Ghana to recall his High Commission immediately. It's not like if you have shut down a number of Ghanaian shops. It's not that you have repatriated a double number of the Nigerians that have been repatriated. Then they will sit up. I'll give you an example. There was a time many years ago, a few years ago, South Africa did the same thing. They repatriated some Nigerians. You know what Nigerian government then did? The first plane of South African Airways, loaded with South African investors and businessmen, landed in Muritala. It was asked to turn back. By the third day, the vice president of South Africa was here to appeal, to negotiate. So when you sit down and talk to a press conference, call it a world press conference, whatever you call it, nobody takes you serious. Nobody takes Nigeria serious any longer. This is not like the time that Muritala Muhammad was head of state and told America to hands off Angola, that Africa was not an extension of America. Boldly said in Addis Ababa, immediately America withdrew. And that was why MPLA succeeded in Angola and not UNITA. Gone are the days when a head of state completely nationalized British petroleum and converted it to African petroleum, simply because the British government was dragging its fees in the negotiation for the independence of Zimbabwe. Immediately, British government reacted positively to facilitate a rapid independence process for Zimbabwe. There are moments you have to act. When you start preaching, they know that is all you will do. This had not just started. The Ghana Investment Promotion Center originally asked foreigners to invest $200,000 and employ 10 Ghanaians. Then later it became $500,000. By the amendment of 2018, they now made it 1 million. I can understand making that law applicable who are just coming in. But those who are already in situ, who are already trading, who had already got licenses and permissions and approvals under previous law, do you now confront them with a new law? It is obvious that it's a determined, deliberate effort by Ghanaians with Nigerians. And you recall that in Kumasi and that area, GUTA, which is the Ghanaian Union of Traders Association, were in fact the people locking the shops of Nigerians. It took time, even for the police and the soldiers to join them in enforcing what, in my view, an illegitimate law. It wasn't the security forces that started. It was ordinary traders who felt threatened by the dynamism, by the aggressiveness, and by the competitiveness of the Nigerians. And I can say this because I've been ambassador of this great country. When you meet Nigerians outside, they are not the people you meet inside. They are dynamic, they are aggressive, they are purposeful, they are focused, they are determined, achieving. Anywhere you go to, you find Nigerians doing very well. So usually they attract envy. We attracted envy in Sierra Leone before. We attracted envy in Liberia, even though we shared the gangsters that ruled the country. What do we get for it? You're talking about Lebanon. Nigerian spent a lot of money and lost a lot of soldiers in troops in Lebanon to get peace to the place, only for our citizens to be treated as housemaid nannies and things like that.
We'll talk about that. It's going to form part of our discussion.
Also, simply because there is no bite in our foreign policy.
What has happened? What has happened to us as a people? To start with, we said, or is it now self-acclaimed Big Brother Africa? I mean, giant of Africa. Are we still giant of Africa? What has happened to our fans that it seems Nigeria doesn't bite anymore? That countries that once fed on our crumbs now want to stand on our necks?
You know why? They say that foreign policy is an extension of domestic politics. If you are weak at home, you get to be weak abroad. Very simple. Time it was, we said boldly that Africa is the centerpiece of our foreign policy, and we acted that. We acted Big Brother. We were part of the frontline nation that secured independence of South Africa. We spent our money, resources, and our blood in Liberia, in Syria alone. Everywhere there was any problem in Africa, we were there. When military took over in Equatorial government, we forced that military out. When they tried in Gambia, we forced it out. We used the leverage of our weight, our 1 million square kilometers area, our 200 million population, that is 20% of the population of Africa, that is 70% of the population of the Black people. The fact that we have the largest economy that constitutes 47% of the GDP of Black Africa, that is what we have. That is the leverage we have. But when you become weak at home, when you are unable to overpower ordinary Boko Haram, when you are unable to take action on the Fulani herdsmen, when you are unable to contain its incessant acts of rape of women, when you are unable to stop the kidnapping session, you have become weak. So to now go outside and demonstrate strength, which strength? So we have to re-energize ourselves. We have to take another look at ourselves. That are we really what we were? And what are we now? We are nothing. Absolutely nothing. Everybody takes us for granted. As I always say, Nigeria will only make appropriate noises, which is what is in the sermon according to Muhammad, like Muhammad, is appropriate noises. Ghana will have reacted differently if by now their High Commissioner or the Consul General, which is I think what they have now, would have been back in Accra.
Okay, we are going to talk about. We'll get your perspective as to an average Nigerian outside this country who is being persecuted, as it were, should be doing. But that will be after we hear from another set of Nigerians in a different country who were going through ordeal until they were said to have been discovered as a result of a video they posted. And that's 30 Nigerian ladies in Lebanon. Let's hear them. We'll put that into perspective with that of the Ghanaians, and then we talk.
Most of the madam, they even seize our property that we brought from Nigeria. They don't buy us anything, but they seize our property. They seize our phone, they seize our clothes. Even our passport, we use our money to do our passport, and they seize it. Most of our sisters here, they have worked for 7 months, 9 months without no good food. Most of us, we have also due to the starvation, all these Lebanese people, due to the starvation they give us. Please, we are pleading to you. Please help us. We want to go home as soon as possible. We have appreciated our embassy for helping us in all this time. But we know that their best is not enough. And we are looking forward to the people that can help us around the world. Please, we are looking forward to you. If you can help us, we will really appreciate you. Most of us, even living here, we don't have anything. Please, we want you to help us. Leaving this place, and even when we go to get to our country, what we can be doing that can serve as a source of income for us. Please, we need you to help us. We need evacuation. We want to go back to our country. We want to go home. Please help us. We are 30 girls in one room. We don't have mattress. Even the toilets are leaking out. The heat is killing us. Most of us, we have been falling for 4 days. We don't even have food. If not for the people that came to help us today, we don't have money to buy food for ourselves. The Lebanese people, they don't even give us any money. They just take us out of the house. They put our just little of our load. They gave it to us that we should go. Most of us, they drop out at the front of the embassy. Without anything, without any argument. Then they will go to the police station and go and report us that we steal their goats. They will go and report us that we kill their children. And they cannot provide the corpse of the people that we killed. After someone murder someone and they will not provide the corpse, they will go to the police station and tell them that we beat their old people, their old grandmas, their old grandpas. They will go to the immigration to go and report us that we cause trouble in their house, we break their things, we spoil their property, of which it is not so. Just because they are owing us money, they have to go to their immigration because they know their people, they will only back them. They cannot support we that we are black. Is it a crime to be an African? Is it a crime to be black? Please help us. Help us, our life matters. We came here to work as an housemaid. Yes, we know what other people are doing. We know what our maids are doing.
Now that was months ago, or less, a couple of months ago. But on the 4th of August, what the Nigerian government said, 30 Nigerians who were trafficked and left stranded in Lebanon have been rescued and are among a total of 150 victims awaiting evacuation to Nigeria. The Nigerians in Diaspora Commission made this known in a statement by Gabriel Odu of its Media Public Relations and Protocol Unit. The commission said the rescue came after a video footage of the stranded Nigerians making an appeal to the federal government and well-meaning Nigerians to come to their aid went viral on the internet. He said the appeal for help by the stranded Nigerians led to their rescue by officials of the country's mission in Lebanon. Now let's tie this down to what is happening in Ghana. Let's also bring it home to the fact that we are talking about Lebanese here and Ghanaians and maybe South Africans. But in Nigeria, we don't have a situation where foreigners are subjected to this kind of ordeal. If anything, I think we adore foreigners here. It seems as if they're in control. So why should Nigerians be suffering this kind of fate elsewhere?
Now, the two situations are not exactly the same.
Okay.
Those in Ghana know why they are there. They went for business. They are not being employed by anybody. They are using their own resources to add value to the economy of Ghana. And vintage Nigerian that they are doing that very successfully. And quite a number of Nigerians, including the Ovation, including Glow, migrated to Ghana because we are very, very, I don't know how I would have described us. We believe what we are told. We're told that there's no power failure in Ghana, so everybody keeps on moving there. But it is not true. There's power failure in Ghana. It is what I know. It is what Nigerians there know. But we have a way of, and as I told you, when Nigerians are outside, they are great people. They are good people. I was once in Iceland. I was overflying to Cuba. And I found in Iceland airport, where it takes less than 60 seconds for anybody to be frozen, there was a Nigerian there. And he was studying fishing. I came to a conclusion that if you get to any country and there's no Nigerian there, it's not worth living in. Nigerians, they have this resistance, they have this determination. And so when they get to any country, they usually exceed and they attract envy. Same thing in South Africa. Go to South Africa. If you see any black man living in a big mansion, he's a Nigerian. If you see a black man riding a good car, a luxurious car on the streets of Cape Town or wherever, he's a Nigerian. So the indigenes of the country don't particularly like us. It's even the same in America. You find that the Nigerians are the most educated migrant in America. 25,000 Nigerians are doctors, helping the American health system. So we are not lay about. So naturally, we attract envy. Now let's look at Lebanon. It's a different in they went to look for job and they were misled. But there is something that is the fault of Nigerian government, and there's something that is the fault of Nigerians. I was an ambassador in the Philippines. Philippines did a lot of revenue from the Filipinos that are all over the world. As a matter of fact, the Filipinos in the diaspora contribute the second highest source of foreign exchange to Philippines. So they are encouraged to go. If you want to leave Philippines to go and work anywhere, the government knows we're going to leave. So if there's any problem, they know where to find you and how to locate you. But when Nigerians leave Nigeria, they tell lies. They address. They won't tell you what they are going to do. Imagine that if the Diaspora Commission, and I salute Abike Dabiri for the great work she has been doing. I mean, she's lived to the high reputation of a journalist in government. I mean, the same thing, the Naurus, the Awolowos, the Azikwes, they did very well in government as journalists, and she has done very well. We must now have a system. If you are going to work outside Nigeria, there must be an agency. They don't care what you want to go to do, but they want to have a copy of your agreement. They want to know who your employer is. They don't want to know how you will be living, so that if there's any problem, they will know how to find you. This is what the Filipinos do. In fact, before you leave, the government will organize workshops for you. You are going to Nigeria, and there are quite a number of them in Nigeria. There's a colony of them in Saudi Arabia. There's a colony of them in Canada. Everywhere you find the Filipinos, very well-trained people. But they will have organized workshops. You are going to this country. This is how the weather is. This is their habit. This is what will make them angry. This is what will make them happy. So they prepare them. Government doesn't take money from them. They repatriate their own money into an account. It's not into the government account. But if you say that in Nigeria, we'll go. We say we are interfering with the human rights of the people.
So we are our own problem.
We are part of our own problem. Quite a number of Nigerians, they're in Lebanon, they're in Dubai, they're in UAE, they're in Qatar. They are there doing all kinds of jobs that they have been deceived by Nigerian agencies. Not government agencies now. Some private,
private individuals,
yeah, they say they'll get you job. You get you job there. They want engineer. They want that, and so on and so forth. You get there that you are not engineer. They're not being used like that. But nobody knows. In fact, a number of them are dead. The people at home don't know. There's no link. A number of them end up in prison. There's no way of protecting them. So I want to suggest there have to be a way of handling any Nigerian that wants to go and work outside. Government should not bother about what work you want to go and do and so on. But let us know you want to go and work outside. Let us know where you want to go and work. Let us know the condition so that we can protect.
It's all right. We have a caller. I should have actually opened the line for our callers. Hello, good morning. Let's just take this call and move on. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. It's Williams calling. I want to ask
make it as brief as possible, Williams. As brief as possible.
Please, I want to ask these agencies who are supposed to regulate these agencies that are migration. Secondly, sir, as a diplomat, I want to ask: do we have a foreign policy as a nation? And if we do, what does the foreign policy say about the Nigerian and how the Nigerian should be treated outside?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Williams.
After we have a foreign policy, and I've told you, It's a very strong foreign policy that is no longer strongly implemented. Let me give you an example. What Ghana spends on their missions is over 500% more than what Nigeria spends on their mission. And what South Africa spends on their foreign mission is more than 120% higher than what Nigeria spends. It is Nigerian missions that will be unable to pay electricity bill. Nigerian missions will be unable to pay rent. Sometimes they can't maintain their vehicles. It is that bad. Now, you had that lady from Lebanon saying they went to the embassy, and he said the embassy is doing their best, but it wasn't good enough. Because I'm sure, like I was in Philippines, they don't have money for emergency.
She said they were even dropped by the Lebanese authority at the Nigerian embassy. And so you ask yourself, if they were dropped in front of the Nigerian embassy, how come they now found themselves 30 ladies in one room? Is that suggesting that they were rejected by the Nigerian embassy in that country?
I am aware that there will be.
Is that how people do it?
The Nigerian
Do you reject Nigerians?
When I was there, I don't, but it's a difficult thing. I can tell you that those who work with me, the Philippine embassy, will tell you that we contributed money many times.
So,
but that is not the issue. The issue is that we don't use our foreign embassies where we don't fund them at all. As soon as they were dropped there, if the mission has money, and I know they won't have, they can arrange accommodation for them. They can even arrange a repatriation for them. But there is no embassy that gets that kind of money.
All right. Now, talk, maybe what your opinion should these people who are going through what they are going through in Ghana now be doing before the government of Nigeria responds, if it will eventually?
I think because the thing has come into the front burner in Nigeria, and most media stations are discussing it, I know that our government will inevitably be pushed to take an action. So it won't be a question of if. It will be inevitable. It's now a question of when they will take an action. What I will advise Nigerians in Ghana is not to engage in self-help, because they're not at home. They'll be overpowered by thugs masquerading as security agencies, and they'll be taken to courts where they cannot be sure to get justice. I know negotiation later on can lead into their freedom, but I just want also to sound a warning to Ghana. Ghana must realize that in 1969, their president Busia did this. In 1983, Nigeria retaliated.
Unfortunately, we can't go further. In fact, I wanted to ask of your opinion on the retraction of the word flamboyant by the BBC on our own Akiwumi Adesina. But we don't have all the time. I can only hope that we have another platform where we will talk about all these things. And so I want to say a very big thank you to you, Ambassador Yemi Farumbi, a former Nigerian ambassador to the Philippines, for gracing us with your presence this morning. It is a pleasure having you, sir.
Thank you, Agbalude.
And I'd like to say a very big thank you to the producer of this program, Babatunde Tiamiu, and of course, my right-hand man in the studio, Babafemi Obidei. And to you, our esteemed listener, thank you for always being there. Let's do this again sometime on Saturday. My name is Pius Nsabe. Continue to be a good citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Do have yourself a lovely weekend.